Hi, welcome to Yoga with Health Meets Wellness. I'm Elizabeth.
I'm Molly.
And today we're going to be doing yoga for core strength. So before we start, I just want to go over some of the muscles that we're going to be working today. We're going to be working your rectus abdominis, your transverse abdominals, and your internal and external obliques. Cultivating core power and strength is really good for inner strength and confidence, as well as helping to support your back so you prevent back pain, and it helps with posture. In addition, it can really cultivate feeling strength and awareness in your body. So today we're going to start in a tabletop. So come into a position with your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Start by lifting your left hand up and your right foot back, lengthening your right leg. And then bring your left elbow to your right knee. Exhale, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Now bring your left hand down to the mat and imagine that you're drawing a big half circle over the back of your mat, like there's a big beach ball. Bring your right leg all the way around to the outside of your mat and then all the way up over that ball around to the left side. And inhale up and over. And inhale up and over. Keeping your hips steady. Inhale up and over. Inhale up and over. And two more. Start to shift your weight towards your left, bringing your left foot out as a little kickstand, moving your knee over, and bringing your right foot to the side of your mat. Start to lift and peel your right hand up towards the sky, and then bring your right arm over your ear. Elevate your right leg and start to bring your elbow towards your knee. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. And bring your right foot down to the mat. Really ground down through your right foot and your left hand and cradle the back of your neck with your right hand. Start to elevate your left knee and bring your knee to your elbow for a crunch. And we're going to do this 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on the 5th one, straighten your leg and reach your right arm up to the sky for fallen triangle. Bring your right hand down to the mat, bring your left knee down to the mat, coming back into your tabletop, and then taking a couple of cat-cows here, arch your back, look up towards the sky, and then coming into cow pose, rounding your back, coming up onto your toes, and then lengthening your feet and looking up for cow. Coming back into a neutral spine. Right hand comes up, left leg lengthens, and then elbow to knee, exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Right hand comes down to the mat and start drawing that big half circle around the back of your mat. Your left foot comes all the way out outside to the right side of your mat and then all the way around to the left side for 5, 4, navel towards spine, hips staying steady, engaging your abdominal muscles. 1 more. And then starting to shift your weight over to the right as you make a kickstand with your right foot. And steady yourself with your left foot as you raise your left arm all the way up towards the sky and then up over your ear and raise your left leg up. Left elbow to left knee, exhale. Inhale, lengthen. 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 And bring your left foot down to the mat. Bring your left hand to the back of your neck, cradling the back of your neck as you root down through your right hand and your left foot. Elevate your right knee and bring your right knee to your left elbow for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then lengthen your right leg if that's available and lift your left arm up to the sky for fallen triangle. Left hand comes down to the mat. Knees come as wide as the mat, shifting your weight back, lengthening your arms and allowing your forehead to rest on the mat for child's pose. Starting to shift your weight forward, coming in to a plank pose. Lengthen your legs, root down through your hands, navel towards spine, shoulders away from ears. Really firing up your abdominal muscles in this pose, finding stillness. We'll stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way down to the mat. Lengthen your legs and your feet, pressing down into your pelvis, lifting your torso up, keeping as little weight in your hands as possible for cobra pose. And slowly lowering down 1 vertebrae at a time, pressing back up into plank pose, and then back into downward dog. Pedal out the feet. This is your first downward dog of the day. And then right leg rises up, right knee to right elbow, and then shift it over to the left, and then back to the right, over to the left, back to the right, over to the left, back to the right, back over 3-legged dog. And then right foot comes to right hand. Bring your blocks towards the top of your mat on the highest height. Start to shift your weight forward, coming into supported warrior 3. Steadying your hips, engaging your abdominal muscles, navel towards spine, shoulders away from ears, and then knee comes to your nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Move the blocks off to the side. Hands come down to the mat. Left foot comes to meet the right, forward fold. And then slowly rising up 1 vertebrae at a time. Hands come to prayer overhead. Look up, gazing up, and then swan dive over your legs. Hands come to flat back. Walk back to plank pose. Lower down to chaturanga, elbows pointing towards the back of the mat. Then pressing up into upward dog. Pressing back to downward dog. Left leg rises up. Left knee, left elbow, hold. And then right elbow, and left knee to left elbow, and back and forth with your inhales and exhales. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then coming back into 3-legged downward dog, and left foot comes to left hand. Blocks come to the top of the mat on the highest height. Starting to shift your weight forward. Coming into supported warrior 3. And then exhaling knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. You can move your blocks off to the left side of your mat. Right foot comes to meet the left. Heavy the chest onto your leg, bending your knees any amount for a nice hamstring stretch. And then slowly starting to let your Weight shift back as you drop your seat down to the mat. And we meet in boat pose. And your knees can be bent. You can grab behind your knees to steady yourself. And if it's available, you can lift your palms up towards the sky. Dorsiflex the feet, engaging the abdominals. Seeing if you can lift your chest up a little more, shoulders away from ears. Don't forget to smile. And we'll hold here for 5. Seeing if you can soften while you strengthen, cultivating that inner strength and confidence. And then for an added bonus, try lifting your legs to straighten them. And we'll hold here for another few moments. And then slowly lower down, bringing your knees towards your chest and giving yourself a hug as you rock from side to side to release your back. Now cradling the back of your head with your hands, making a little basket. Bring your knees into a tabletop. And then lengthen your left leg as you turn your left elbow to your right knee. And then move to the opposite side as you lengthen your right leg, bring your right elbow to your left knee. And then at your own pace, we're gonna do this for another 10 seconds. Inhaling and exhaling, navel towards spine. Making sure that your shoulder blades are off the mat as much as possible. You're not holding any tension in your neck. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. 5 more. And then slowly lower down. Feet come to the mat and allow your legs and knees to knock from one side to the other as windshield wipers would on a car. Feeling that inner heat that we're starting to build, starting to feel your abdominals warming up. Coming back now into a boat pose, we're gonna roll back and forth on our spine until you feel comfortable in boat pose. So it may take a few rocks to land on your sits bones. This time, allow your palms to face up towards the sky. And then bring your hands to the back of your mat again, back of your neck again. That's just
Say it again, just take it again. So,
yeah, okay, so.
Take it from the chair.
Yep, okay, so now bring your hands to the back of your neck, cradling the back of your neck. Start to bring your knees towards your elbows for crunch. And we're going to do this 5 times. Try not to keep any tension in your neck. If you need to loosen your fingers, I recommend doing that. And then making sure that you try to keep your back nice and straight, engaging all of your abdominals. This is really good for your obliques and your transverse abdominis. A few more. Inhaling, exhaling. Remember to breathe. And then slowly lower down, 1 vertebra at a time. Lifting your legs up, lengthening them towards the sky. Allow your arms to go long over your head. And then start to reach up towards your toes, lifting the top of your back, and reach up for the opposite toes with your fingers. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then hug your knees into your chest. Take a deep breath in and out through your mouth. Release some of that heat you've just built. And then start to rock back and forth on your spine all the way to a standing mountain pose at the top of your mat. And slowly rolling up 1 vertebrae at a time. Hands come to heart center. Deep breath in. Hands up overhead, look up, gazing up, swan dive over your legs. Hands come to flat back. And then walk back to plank pose. Finding a moment here just to make sure that your hands are underneath your shoulders, your feet are nice and steady. And then lower down onto your forearms. Taking a moment here if you need to readjust. And then start to shift your weight to the right on the edges of your feet and dip your hips down to the edge of the mat. And then roll over to the left side of your mat, dipping your hips. And then over to the right side of your mat, dipping your hips. Inhale over. Inhale over. And exhale, lower the hips. Inhale over. 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 And then coming back into neutral, bring your left hand over pointing towards the right side of your mat. Shift your weight onto the sides of your feet again. And lift your right arm up towards the sky, balancing on your left side. And then start to thread your right hand through the left side body. And then lift your right arm all the way up towards the sky and thread it all the way down to the right side body. Then bring your right hand back down to the mat, coming back into forearm plank. And just holding still here. Navel towards spine, shoulders away from ears. And then bring your right hand towards the left side of your mat, shifting onto the sides of your feet, lifting your left arm up towards the sky. Left hand threads through your right side body. Left arm up towards the sky. Left arm threads through the right side of your body. Left arm up through the sky. And then left hand coming back down onto the mat. And then pressing yourself up into plank pose and slowly lowering down, navel towards spine. For a few breaths. And then just allow the mat to hold you. Turn your head towards the right side of your mat. Lengthen your arms. Rock your hips out. And then roll onto your back. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Feeling your abdominal muscles now that we've worked them. Feeling the inner core strength that we just built and cultivated. And feeling more comfortable and powerful in your body after doing all of those difficult poses. Start to reach for the edges of your feet as you bring your knees towards your elbows and your shoulders for happy baby. Option to lengthen each leg one at a time for an extra hamstring stretch. And then lengthen your legs towards the edge of the mat, allowing your hands to relax, palms facing up, and allowing the mat to hold you for our final resting pose. Let your eyes close. Take a moment to turn inward and thank yourself for spending this time to build strength, to prevent back pain, to help with your posture, to help with confidence and inner strength and core power. Start to wiggle your toes and your fingers. Allow your eyes to open. Re-engage with the environment. And then slowly start to roll onto your left side, bringing your knees towards your chest, coming into the fetal position on the left side, and then pressing into your right hand. Come into a cross-legged position on your mat. Hands come to heart center in a prayer pose. Thank you so much for joining me for Core Power Yoga. Hope to see you again soon. Namaste.